Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. News coming out from Delta State, Bayelsa State is just not, it's not healthy at all. Now, I know they say I know even greet as I enter. It's not good at all. Issues are rising, the military is escalating, they are angry, and what is coming out from there is just too weird to hear, especially that people are being shot at, a lot of people lost their lives, and it's going on and on. And the question we asked earlier in the day is whether Chief Bola Tinubu did order the army to start killing civilians in their different communities and burning their houses. This time around, it is no longer in this Oklahoma community that we are talking about. We are talking that they have migrated to what do they call it? Bayelsa State. Okay, now again, we'll present to you the other things that also happen in the same Delta State, where we see that a task force, state task force, has gotten the state on fire, as we can see. If you look out from what has been displaying on the screen, you will see that there is violence everywhere there, and even the police that are deployed to go and put law and order in the place are shooting directly at the residents, at the people who are at the scene, shooting directly. Some people who are there also make comment, but we'll bring all of that into discussion. And most importantly, what will be coming at this very hour again is that an insider story. People who are at the scene of this very incident where several military officers were killed in Delta State have spoken out. And what they spoke will amaze you. Different, totally different from what is being paraded in mainstream media, in all the media platforms. What they have been telling us is different from people who were eyewitnesses at the event that escalated this matter. I'm not the only one to speak about this. I have Divine in the studio.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this episode. We're so glad to have you.
Yeah, please, wherever you are, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on your time zone. Excuse my not greeting coming on. But what is coming out from Delta is just something that is in excess. It's like we are not in democracy. We are not in a civilian rule, as if we are militarized. Okay, let's even start, let's leave Delta for a moment and go to what is happening in Bayelsa. The angry soldiers who has lost their colleagues, that we know everybody has condemned the act that happened there, but they have moved into Bayelsa and they are raising houses and they are also killing civilians at the same time. So what kind of order was actually given by Chief Bola Tinubu to this to the military that we have? I suppose the military are to protect the citizens of the country and not to subject them directly to be butchered. Everybody in Igbomotoru town in Bayelsa has already fled. So the violence have escalated from Delta now to Bayelsa, and the people who are there, and the direct talk is just not good. But before we enter that, Divine, let's first hear the direct story from the offside, the people who were at the scene of the events that occurred last week, starting from Delta State, where this military operation has, catapulted now to Bayelsa. The people are saying clearly that what is being transmitted to the mainstream media, what has been trending, is not truth. Who are we to believe? But we take the report, we present them to you, how they said it and what they said transpired. Let's take a listen before we dive into the conversation.
While the people of Okwama community in Igeli South local government area have urged both the federal and state governments as well as the military to initiate a thorough investigation into the assault on villagers and the subsequent burning of homes allegedly carried out by some military personnel. The plea was made during an interview with our correspondent. The report.
Addressing newsmen, indigenes of Okwama community in Ughelli South local government area who prefer to remain anonymous, recounted an unsettled incident that occurred on Thursday, March 14, 2024. They recalled their surprise when military personnel arrived in 2 boats, purportedly for a peace talk with the community chairman and leaders. The villagers described how the military personnel were warmly received at the community town hall with kola nut offerings and support, leading to a peaceful dialogue. However, tensions escalated when the military insisted on taking the community chairman and some leaders for further questioning after the peace talks, which was refused. This refusal, they claimed, prompted the military to open fire, resulting in casualties within the community. Additionally, they recounted a subsequent attack on Friday, March 15, 2024, where houses were set ablaze, forcing residents to flee for safety.
On the 14th of March 2024, they at home that very day, and I saw that some military personnel, army, came to Okwama. So they now welcome them. They say they want to walk around the community. They walk around the community. Say they want to go to the town hall. They have a peace talk. They now went to the town hall. They now entertained them as a military men. They welcome them. So they now ask for the community chairman and the community leaders. So they sit with them and they have a peace talk together. Then after that, they now ask the community chairman and the community leaders, some other leaders, to follow them. So they say, we have already have the peace talk with you people, so you have to go. They say they must take the leaders away. So they said no. So from them, the army turned the whole story to violent. Right there in the community town hall, there the army started shooting our people there. Then from there, people started running. Some were killed instantly. Then everybody ran away because nobody expects a shooting of army in the community that very day. Then the army now went. Within a while, the army now come back again with more reinforcement, gunboat and all that is. And instantly about 20 persons was killed. Then when they come back again, they begin to shoot. They killed nothing less than 50 persons. Then the following day, they now mobilize again. Some of the army, they are coming from Bamadi and some of them are coming from Okwabe. They come together and burn the whole community down. That was on the 15th of March. So the whole community was raised down.
That very day we don't expect that we just see some 2 gunboats come with army. So we can't surprise, say we don't get problem with army. Then we ask them what happen, say they come for peace talk. So then we welcome them. Entertain them that very day. After the entertainment, when they won't go, they come say they won't take our chairman and the leaders along. We say for peace talk when I come, I won't carry our leaders. They come out. We know go allow and carry they come out. So the army they just change all of a sudden. Not be like people we entertain just now. Then they begin open fire. That process of firing, our youth, old women, children die that spot. More than 20 of them die instantly. Later they come out. When we say they will come back again. Begin the open fire. Then on the 15th of March 2024, they come back again, both the whole community. Both every house is when it be said the Okwama community. Some of us now, our children, we never see them. Our parents will never see them. Inside the bush now where we hide now, so dead body dead there. Now we they talk so. So we won't make government come rescue us. Now we they cry to the government, may they come help us.
They also refuted the circulating media reports alleging that members of Okwama community initiated an attack on the military personnel in the river, dismissing such claims as entirely false.
we Okwama community, we very peaceful community. We not attack army for inside river. The army they come meet us for peace talk. We entertain them for inside our town hall. Put money, put cola, wage am for them that day. Now after the entertainment, they won't go now. Now they come tell us say they won't carry our leaders. They follow body go. Now we say no, it's not possible like that. Now I come for peace talk. When I come carry our leaders follow body go again. We don't want them in that way. So the army now they come get angry once, begin the shoot. Presently now, none of us did the community again.
We not attack the military men in the river, because when they came, we are in the town hall. We entertain them, drink and money. We wish cola for them. So they were very happy when they see the entertainment. Then after that, when they say they want to take the community chairman and the secretary and someone.
So this is the insider story. These are the people who live at this very community that have been trying to see how we can get their own perspective on what actually transpired from last week and up till date. So Divine, you can see the things that are coming out from here. Wouldn't say theirs are entirely the truth, but at least we've heard from their own side that they never did attack the military.
Well, first of all, I'd like to think that they have nothing, or rather no reason to actually lie, right? From the looks of it, they actually pleaded confidentiality because they didn't allow their faces to be shown. So I'm guessing this is the true side of it, because mainstream media has a way of actually diverting attention or, you know, twisting narratives to suit whatever it is that is trending, right? And I'm not blaming them, because most times they're going to report as the news comes to them. But the point is just that from the looks of it, we condemn in all entirety. Violence is never an option, right? But from the looks of it, from the stories that we can hear, these inside stories, that there was, you know, a sort of an attack first. So the killing of the soldiers was probably a counter-attack, or their way of, you know, retaliating the attack that's, like, you know, came to them, that the Nigerian military brought to their domain, right? And so it shouldn't have happened in the first place. All these killings are senseless, and I totally, you know, condemn it in all its entirety.
You know, what has been trending,
right,
that both on the mainstream media you're talking about, is the Nigerian military perspective. And the way they presented it is that few soldiers were sent to this community to rescue somebody who was kidnapped. But from hearing from them now, they are saying these people came, they even offered them cola nut and other things, that they were very peaceful. But the issue started with the soldiers shooting and killing more than 20 people. Right. And then going to get reinforcements. Now, even when we condemn the act of shooting these soldiers or attacking them and the likes, now that we have heard from these very two sides, we just want them to shed their sword. The people who are in charge of the military, we look at it from the perspective of what is now happening towards Bayelsa. Yes, they are chasing the perpetrators of the act, so to speak, but at the same time, another town burned down in Bayelsa is totally unacceptable. And we want to plead with the authorities concerned to actually stop this before it escalates to something else. There are ways and means to do investigation, which I suppose the military have their way. But now it is moving towards from Bayelsa. Now we might hear something about Edo, or it will start affecting other states. So please, we are sincerely asking that this thing that is happening now in Delta should not continue to escalate to other states. Now, you've heard from their own side of the story. It did not start from them. Is the military that started the shooting and killing of their people before anything goes on. They didn't even say a word about them killing the other people. Right. But all the same, we are not in support of any violence of any kind. We are not in support of the militant that is said to have attacked the military Nigerian soldiers, and we condemned on this entirety. But at the same time, we want to encourage the authorities concerned to nip this thing at the bud so that it does not escalate further. Let's turn our attention, having said that, to what is also in Delta. I don't know what has come over Delta. Their portion of the air suddenly got polluted because today again, several people, and we can see shooting and rioting and everywhere in the streets of Asaba. Protests from, they call them whether they are bikers, but the thing is that they say the state government owned this thing, government task force that ignited the fire that is about to burn down the Asaba down. So as you can see from the screen, it's all over the place and all over the news is trending high, and we are still getting reports coming out from Asaba, the Delta state capital, on what the issues that escalated this. But let's take a sound bite from that scene. Let's take a sound bite.
Who they come to attack now? Who's on the phone? What police come do? Police will come here. People that they stone now. They took their privilege. That's what they do. For Asaba, they just keep this. Serious war. Hey. Police people don't mess. That's what they battle. Oh my, if they did this time, maybe they coordinate. Maybe they use the coordinates. It's not true. Peaceful time like this, they want to carry that nonsense attitude on your transport. Attack the police now. Who they come to attack now? Who's on the phone? What police come do? Police will come here. People that they stone now. They took their privilege. That's what they do. For Asaba, they just keep this. Serious war. Hey.
Video trending around, you could see the police officers that were sent to this very protest site. Even the Daily Trust that got this very news in said they were shooting up. They were not shooting up. They were shooting directly at the protesters. That is what we see. You can check out those videos trending online. You will see and you will hear the gunshots. And the gun was pointed straightforwardly, not at the top of the sky.
Well, it's just very sad to see because these protesters were protesting the killing of two bikemen by the Delta State police task force, and it's very sad to see that a country that is meant to protect, or the security operatives that are meant to protect the citizens, are now the ones who are trigger happy, and at every slight provocation they get to pull this trigger as if there is no sanctity for life, there's no value for life. And it's just very sad to see because everybody has a right to protest, right? We are in a democracy. And so if something happens and people decide, you know what, we're going to take to the streets to actually air out our grievances and make our voices known, as long as they are not being, you know, vindictive or vandalizing government property, I see no reason why you're going to shoot directly at them, because shooting directly at them is another reason why there will be a protest tomorrow, because if one of those bullets touches one of them, that will be another case, right? And so we don't know what's going on with the air in Delta State. It's a lot of you know, bad news and, you know, sad news that have been coming out from that region of the country, but we just pray for a level of consolation, or rather a level of normalcy to be returned to these places, and that we urge the Nigerian government and the Nigerian military to take every step possible to actually ensure normalcy and stability is brought back to the region.
Yeah, so as we can see, police shoots at protesters in this Delta state as motorcyclists troop out over alleged killing of their colleague by the task force on the government. But what is really very interesting or provocative about this video, as you can see them shooting at these protesters and not shooting up, as has been propagated in other media. You can watch this on and see that, yes, people were protesting, the cyclists were actually protesting, but the people that were sent to go and stop this were shooting at them directly. Please, let's authorities that are actually watching this or who have seen this take action and make sure that this don't continue to happen. We are not bearers of bad news, we are bearers of good news. We simply want people to be conscious of their environment, and also for the police themselves to take care of themselves, because they are also in this society and in this democracy with us. So let's finally look at the issue surrounding the strike that happened across the whole universities. Recall, Divine, that ASU, that is this senior staff association, they threatened, and finally today they carried out their threat. They said they are shutting down all the schools. They are also shutting hostels, that there's not going to be light, water anywhere around school. And this, I think, is going to affect. And they said they're going to do this for the next 7 days.
Well, I'm getting some level of flashbacks, or would I say post-traumatic disorder from this news, actually, because being a student, or when I used to be a student, these are news that actually throws you in frenzy, right? Because you don't know the next step after that. You don't know what you're going to decide. It could go from 1 week to 7 weeks to 7 months. Nothing is actually impossible in Nigeria. And when it comes to strike, it is almost, you know, a yearly thing. There has to be a situation where we strike yearly in this school, in this country, and it's just a very sad reality for the Nigerian students, because imagine preparing and having it in mind that, you know what, I'm going to be in school for a number of years according to what my course dictates, and due to irregularities that comes from the government being, you know, nonchalant about the affairs of the ASU, SANU, and NASU, and then they keep going on strikes, and you just prolong the years that you're meant to spend in school. And so it's just sad, and this strike is coming on the heels of the warning. Last week Monday they had come out to actually talk about it, and they said they were going to give go on a 7-day warning strike. So they foretold, or rather they forewarned about this strike, and it's sad that nobody thought it was necessary. None of the government's parastatals, not even the Ministry of Education, thought it was necessary to gather these people and, you know what, say, let us hear from you, and what are your plights and what do you need. But they have actually, you know, paid no minds to them, and today the strike has started. And it is just very sad to see, because we don't know how long it's going to linger. But we just, you know, hope that they actually come to a reasonable and a favorable conclusion for all parties involved, and so the students can go back to school and the administrative duties.
So, Chief Bola Tinubu, please take action. All the people that are working with Chief Bola Tinubu, they should reach out to him. Let these things that are happening, let them find a solution, a lasting solution to it. We don't want this very military invasion continue going on in the Delta region. Talk about Bayelsa and Delta. You should deal with it. All these issues that are coming from non-payment of these people on strike, they should also deal with it. That is why we come every day and we talk that they should deal with these things. And finally, before we go, let's look at what our own P2B's Excellency have talked about the review of the entire budget of the 2024 appropriation bill. And all the controversies that are going with it, he has come out to actually lay his mind on the fact that this totality of this bill need to be reviewed. And let's take a listen from Divine.
Well, he said, having followed the controversies trailing the 2024 budget and having read some of the budgetary provisions and allocations of resources, I wish to respectfully appeal for a total review of the entire budget. The executive and legislative arms should initiate an immediate review of the budget as it is still in early days of implementation in order to enable them to urgent environment of resources to critical areas. The nation's national resources should adequately be appropriated to critical areas like security, fighting poverty, and solving the challenges of hunger and food insecurity, power supply, especially considering the difficult times that we are in. In the past 1 year, about 7,000 Nigerians have been kidnapped, with about 700 kidnapped in the last 3 weeks, notwithstanding the violent crimes and killings that occur in every part of the nation, which must have included us in one of the world's riskiest countries to live in. A report by the globally respected publication Financial Times on March 12, 2024, described Nigeria's kidnapping racket as a sign of a failed state. With all of this happening in our nation, how then can we attract foreign investors and retain the confidence of local investors? We have become one of the hungriest nations in the world and one of the most difficult nations in the world to live in, with food prices constantly going out of reach of most Nigerians. Power supply is abysmally poor and Nigerians are now mostly in total darkness as over 60% are without power supply. Even those in perceived privileged areas now go for days without power supply. A 2022 Energy Progress Report designated Nigeria as the country with the largest number of people lacking access to electricity, with 92 million of its over 200 million population living without electricity. About 80% of our primary healthcare centers are not functional. The cost of medical treatments and medicines have gone beyond the reach of most Nigerians. We now hold the enviable position of having the highest number of out-of-school children. With about 20 million of out-of-school children, we need to take our children off the streets and give them basic access to education. I therefore urge our executive and legislative arms to consider the many challenges facing our nations and reallocate resources to these very critical areas. This is the time for complete sacrifice. A new Nigeria is still very possible. Signed, P.O.
Yes, so a new Nigeria is still very possible. If our principal says so, who am I to say no? A new Nigeria is possible. So wherever you are, like, share this video so that other obedience will know what is actually happening at the Delta region, so that we can condemn the acts from both sides, so that there should be peace made by the government. So with that one, we go one carry ourselves come out for studio. But before we do, we no go fail to inform you again. Saturday, where they come, we get meeting. We be saying Obedient Family Cooperative Society. For inside this link now, inside this our video where we dey now, the link to join the Obedient Family Cooperative Society dey there. So wherever you dey, make you for join. Make we dey prepare ourselves, make we dey together. Obedient Cooperative Society is bringing well-meaning Nigerians and obedience to one place, supporting them for those people who are into production, especially in agriculture, to support them to produce more so that we can be feeding at least until we get to the next stage of our preparation for election. But we keep supporting each other in certain agri-based businesses, like people in poultry, people in fish farming, people in other cash crops that could be helped for them to do what? To do a grow out in the value chain, on the agri value chain, and help ourselves. So please do not hesitate to like and share the video so that other people who are not aware will know. We expect to have Obedient Family Cooperative Society in all the local governments in Nigeria. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.